It all started with a simple project I had been planning for months, adding a dock to my lake cabin. My property had a beautiful waterfront, and I knew the dock would not only enhance the view, but also allow my family and me to enjoy the lake in a much more convenient way. So, I submitted my plans to the Homeowners Association, HOA, for approval, expecting the typical process. But what followed was a nightmare that no one could have predicted. A few weeks after submitting my dock plans, I received a letter from the HOA informing me that I had violated several community rules by installing the dock without prior approval. The fine? A staggering $10,000. At first, I was in disbelief. I had followed every rule and even consulted with neighbors to ensure my plans were in line with community guidelines. But apparently, the HOA didn't see it that way, and I was now faced with an enormous fine. I could have paid the fine and moved on, but something didn't sit right with me. I began researching the HOA's rules and regulations in more detail, and that's when I stumbled upon something shocking. The HOA president had installed a dock on his own property without approval years ago, and it was much larger than mine. I couldn't believe my eyes. How could they impose such a massive fine on me for doing something that their own president had done without so much as a second thought? Determined not to back down, I decided to confront the HOA. Armed with my research, I went to the next meeting and laid out the facts for everyone to hear. I exposed the president's illegal dock and the hypocrisy behind the fine I was being asked to pay. The room went silent as everyone processed the information. It was clear that I wasn't the only one who had been treated unfairly by the HOA, and suddenly my dock wasn't the only issue at hand. In the end, not only was the fine dropped, but the HOA was forced to address the president's illegal dock. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. When you stand up for yourself and fight for what's right, you can bring about change, no matter how intimidating the system may seem. This story became a victory not just for me, but for everyone in the neighborhood who had been afraid to speak out. If you want to hear more stories like this, make sure to subscribe to the HOA Stories.